So today I wanted to talk about the KNOWLED Cine Lighting Reflector here, or the LiteFlow Reflectors. Okay, and this is something that kind of cinema and TV have used for a very long time on set, and they are essentially these kind of reflective panels that you bounce light into or off of, so you can kind of bounce light around the set. Okay, so most of us photographers here are kind of used to using reflectors, right? Whether it be a wedding, you know, want to bounce in a little bit of fill light or something like that. You know, like there's the pop-up ones. Just knock somebody out with that as you open it, and then spend 40 minutes trying to put it back in its case. But like that's kind of what we're used to, right? But whereas on set they use these, you know, hard metal plates, and like they kind of used a lot to kind of bounce light into windows and that sort of stuff. Or like as we can see here, right? Boom, it's coming from up here. You're not going to get that. You're just not going to get that thing up there, right? So rather than do that, you're kind of bouncing the light in there, okay? Or for smaller sets here, they're just bouncing light onto, you know, daylight into a set, and just using basically a lot of these reflectors, getting one light to do several lights worth of work and that sort of stuff, okay? And it's not something that I kind of used before. And like I said, I was up there at the photo show. Yang from Essential Photo was showing me these. And I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool. I could see myself stacking some of these in front of each other and getting kind of different effects, right? Maybe have a big one behind and then have a smaller one in front. Maybe put a gel on the smaller one in front, so you can get soft bounce light and then hard bounce light with color and that sort of stuff. So I'm kind of thinking along those lines. Now they sent me out the pack, I think it's the 25, yeah, so which just means it's 25 centimeters across, and we're gonna have a look at those now. So thank you to Essential Photo for sending those over. Yeah. We get a review about those. Yes, I will. I have been using them, and I used them the other day. Let's have a look, actually. Now that you bring it up, Gripes, let's have a look. Let's wait for my keyboard to wake up. So the review I did the other day of the MS60R thing. Let's have a look. So I actually used them there. So let's see. So this shot here is just two lights, right? Which is just two of the little Coke cans behind the model here. So camera left over here. I've got that set to like 10,000 Kelvin, and then I've got the one on the right here set to whatever it is. It was 1800 Kelvin, I think it went down to. So very blue and very orange, right? And then in the front of her, so remember this is two lights, and then in the front of her here is one of these LiteFlow reflectors, right? So like you can do, like it was actually pretty, I was actually pretty impressed with how much light it was bouncing back. Let me see if I can grab my brush here a second. So just for clarity, is that the brush? Where's my brush gone? There it is. So yeah, so you guys know what I mean, right? So you got, so that's the background back there, and I've got a light here. I've got the model here. She's kind of looking this way. I've got a light back here, right? And then straightforward, right? And then I'm kind of in here with the camera, and then you can't see because my camera's in the way, my screen's in the way, but the reflector dish is right there, so it's just right in front of her. The LiteFlow reflector is right there, okay, and that's what's kind of lighting her face. You can see the catch lights in the eye there. So this blue light, this low Kelvin light, is actually bouncing in into the face here, and you can kind of see the specular highlights there from that. What I actually think is also happening here is that hand is not on the head, and this is like a shot taken halfway through. I actually think there's some light bouncing off her hand here as well, which is kind of cool. Yeah. Okay. So that's the principle, right? You're just using lights to do that, and similar sort of thing with the rest of these. Let's have a look. Exactly the same thing. You guys get the idea. Same thing here, right? So we've got the blue on the hair here, right? And that's firing across her, firing across the hand, and that sort of thing. got the LiteFlow reflector here, and that's bouncing that light back into the face. But you can see it's only giving us kind of almost like the specular highlights here, because we're still red on the face from the red that I've got in shot, and then the kind of like the highlights on the skin is picking up, and you can see again, you can see the catchlight in the eye here, so it's bouncing that back in. Okay, so pretty straightforward. You know, these shots are all shot the same way. The image that we're using this week in the share shoot, again, shot the same way. It's just that this time the red light is coming directly over her and hitting the reflector, so that's why it's kind of red on this side rather than blue this time. Okay, so like interesting to work with, interesting to work with. And then we think we got the let's have a look. So that's the light. Yeah, these are the lights behind, right? I just had barn doors on it to keep it from, like, to keep it pretty much just hitting her and the actual dish and the actual plate there, the LiteFlow reflector. And this is it here. So one of these LiteFlow reflectors creates a horizontal scoop of light, which is really weird, and that's why you're seeing the reflections here looking like this horizontal strip. It's kind of cool. It's actually pretty defined. We'll have a look at it in a minute. But yeah, it's just there like that, and there you go. You see it there. So boom, just on a stand there, bounced in. Pretty straightforward. Okay. So I think we've got that horizontal scoop of light. There we go. There it is there. So you can see. So it's mounted vertically there. So you've got this horizontal slot of light going up and down. But obviously you can just mount it horizontally, which is what I was doing, and it was just kind of scooping across the top half of the body. Yeah. I need to remember to get more BTS. You got it, man. You got it. It's kind of a running joke with some of the people that I mentor online, because I'm always asking them to get BTS. It's like I cannot. It's very difficult for me to help you with your photo shoots if I don't know what's going on behind the camera. And this applies for your own learning as well, right? If it's like, oh my god, I love this shot. Ooh, wonder what was going on there. Look, I'm guilty of it as well. I've got photo shoots on my website that people will still come and ask me, oh, I want that. I'm like, I don't know how I shot that, right? So yeah, shooting BTS, especially if you're doing anything even remotely complicated, it becomes very important. Yeah. Thank you, Ivan. Yeah. So we're using one of the hard lights reflector, not soft. So that one, I think there's using a couple of different ones there, Ivan. Yeah. So to your point there, am I using soft or hard reflectors? So I think one of them I'm using the soft one. There's the final image there. So like these ones I think are the soft ones, right? So it's kind of wrapping around a little bit more. And then I think these ones were like the harder ones, just giving you this kind of more defined highlight there, but not as it's not wrapping as much. Yeah. So kind of a mix, if I'm honest. Now some of these, here you go. So this is the slot one, right? So this is the slot one. I showed you that slot, right? So that's what's going on here. So you can see the shadow here, right? And I kind of wanted this kind of slot of light where her face was, so I was able to kind of angle that, so that's happening. So it's dark down here, and then just kind of like her face and hand here is being lit by that slot of light from that reflector there. So it's actually, we'll see it in a minute, but it's actually pretty controllable. Yeah. So do you like the smaller reflector panels over the larger ones just to cover the face? Would you use a large one for full body? So they sent me the 25s, and I will say that, yeah, like if you can afford the big ones are going to be better. The 25 ones you can just about get away with it with headshots, especially the shiny one. So we should see in a minute that the diffused one is pretty generous, but yeah. Like the shiny ones, because it's just literally bouncing back, more of a defined edge rather than spreading out. So yeah, I would say 25 is minimum for headshots. Yeah, definitely. So there's kind of other benefits for these as well, and kind of one of I was going to use polystyrene Irene, which is what we normally photograph, but that will actually be lighting me with them in a second. So you you can kind of see here, I've got a light set. I haven't turned it on yet, so we're going to shine that into a reflector that's going to be in front of me. And that's the other major benefit of them, is that they don't take up any space, right? So you can put them right in front of a subject. So if like a subject's, you know, close to the wall or something like that, you wouldn't normally be able to get a light in there, but these reflectors you can just pop in there and it'll bounce light back. So great for being on set. Okay, again, it's going to be pretty niched for photographers. But like if you're somebody who does a lot of location work or something like that, or if you're somebody shooting video, then where there's tons of spaces where you can't get light in, I could see them having a lot of use. Yeah, a lot of use. Yeah. Okay, so let's kind of dig these out here a second. Let's have a look. Like I said, so this is the kit here. Let's go to full screen here a second. Microphone's working, it's always good. Yeah, so they come in 25 by 25 case, as you understand. I did a unboxing there on Instagram the other day, so you know, nothing surprising in here. Okay, so and then inside we've just got 4 different colors here. We've got red, green, blue, and the yellow ones, and then also comes with these, right, which is what you actually put them onto, right? You actually put them onto the back of them and then put it on a stand, and then I should show a close up for Vlad. He loves a good bracket. So let's kind of test this out, right? Let's turn on this. I'm going to turn this light off, which is lighting me, and I'm going to turn this light on behind me, and then hopefully I'm going to bounce that light off of a reflector that I'm going to put there. Okay. Okay, so let's see if I can. Yeah, let's see if I can mirror. I should be able to do it for the app on the iPhone. The Godox app for the iPhone. Let's try it. Sometimes it lags out the stream, but let's try it. So you guys can't. I'll just show it to you here. But this is what I'm. I'm just opening up the Godox app, right? And in theory, that should turn on. Nice. Okay. Okay. So you can see. Nice. Okay. And we can control the power of it here. Cool. Okay. That make things a little bit easier. Okay. So let's put that on for a second then, and let's turn this front light off. Okay. Okay. Right, let's go to full screen then. Let's just start off with like the shiny one first, right? So you can see very kind of reflective, not completely mirror-like, but pretty close, right? So yeah, obviously it just slots on like that, nothing, I'll just get that right in the microphone for you guys. Oh, actually, let me put it on the other way so I can actually screw it up. Okay, so I just got a boom arm. You can probably see it in shot there, but I just got a boom arm behind me. So we can kind of see, yeah. I'll tell you what, when you open that case and it says, make sure you're wearing a white gloves. Do they put white gloves in there? Do they? Hell, of course they don't. Yeah. Okay, so pretty strong, pretty strong light. You know, so pretty. It's definitely a hard light for sure. You can see it's getting it in the eye there, coming across. So. That's kind of just coming over my shoulder. So remember, it's being lit from that up there. So again, we can kind of, if we turn that up, I'm just using the app on there. We can turn it down. So that is, it's doing a lot, right? It's doing a lot. And obviously we can change the color of that if we wanted. So we wanted it nice and warm, or blue. Pretty straightforward. Okay. So pretty. That is, I forget what color that one is, but pretty strong. Yeah. Okay. And that's what, I don't know, less than a meter away from me. So like 2 arms reach away. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's try a different one then. Like I said, that's the number one, the blue one, right? This next one's the number 2, the yellow one, right? So you can see immediately softer, yeah? Very quick to put on. So I need to increase the power of this one because it's obviously immediately we can see that softer. Yeah, immediately we can see that softer. I'm looking at the second screen here because I can't see the. Yeah. Okay. But that's clean though. It's clean, very clean. So when I go back too far, I'm being hit by that behind me. But yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, very surprisingly clean, right? Yeah. Now, there's a couple of reasons as to why that's happening, which I'll go over in a minute, which is another major core issue for using these. And I'll kind of speak about that in a second, but it's kind of apparent here, like when I'm talking about clean lighting, what does that really mean? So we're really talking about how even it is across the face. Is it like kind of that same exposure here? Is it there and that sort of stuff? There's no hot spotting or anything like that. It's a very clean, gradual fade across the face. Okay, but we can kind of get some nice Rembrandt in there. Again, I can't I can't see exactly because the screen's over there, but yeah, it's good stuff. Different numbers stand for what exactly? Hard to soft. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly right. So I forget what that is. What did I say it was? So on the case here, we've got one being the hardest, and then 2 being what we're on now, which is the yellow one, right? And then this third one will be the softest one, right? So super diffused. So we're going to try that now. Yeah. Yes, that's the yellow one, number 2. I'm sure Godox will be over the moon that I've covered those in fingerprints already. So yeah, so this is the super, like the most diffused one. Okay. Let's have these together here. So we should be able to see there. So we got, this one is slightly more shiny here than this one, right? Which is a matte. Yeah. This one is obviously going to be the softest on the skin. It should, in theory, be the most beautiful on the skin, right? Which is what I need. Again, with it being the softest one, we may need to give it a little bit more power. Yeah, because obviously we're losing a little bit of power because of the fusion there. Just bring that up a little bit. But that's nice, right? That is soft. It's beautifully soft, right? And you've just got that little pocket of light in my eye here as well. But very, very soft. And again, this is like arm's reach away, and beautiful quality across the face on this side even. On this side even, especially when you're kind of pointed towards it. Yeah. I was kind of curious if I can open that up, because that's got a gobos in it. So let me just see if I can open it up. Just wanted to open it up, see if I could get light on both sides. So you're kind of getting, yeah. So it's lighting from behind and the front, which is what I was doing with the previous shoot, right? Obviously it's pretty strong back there, but if I had, maybe if I was closer to this one here, then you're going to increase the or reduce the difference. Same as if I was using a shinier one here, you'd be reducing the difference as well, but you should be able to see, yeah. So on this side, obviously very, very hard light from that focused lens, and then on this side, very, very soft light, which is only coming from bounce back from that, yeah. Yeah. For those of you not aware of what I was doing there, basically that is the projection unit for the Godox projection unit, which basically it's got cutters in it, which you can kind of pull in and push out, and that gives you the ability to kind of really kind of sculpt the light down into the exactly the right region that you want. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of gating it down so that it's really only hitting that disc or the light panel, LiteFlow reflector here. Okay. So lastly, we've got the red one there, which is the slot. We can kind of look at that and see if we can get it to work here in this smaller space. Let's see. So yeah, this is so we got, yeah, so this is the number 4, like the red one here. You guys should be able to see in the reflections, should be kind of streaky, yeah. There you go, you can see them there. So this is the one that gives you that slot, you know, slot of light. And I do like how quick and easy it is to put on. So this is going to be vertical. So we've got a vertical slot there. So you can see, oh yeah. So it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty hard, but like you can come, yeah, so it's pretty defined. Yeah, okay. I guess you could angle that down a little bit as well. So maybe get further down the body as well. It's kind of weird looking at it because all the reflections in it are just like these vertical stripes. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, anamorphic reflections. Yeah, true. Yeah. So let's see if we spin it, right? So this should be horizontal now. And there you go, you can see here, right? So already you can see it being cut there. So and even up here, so it's pretty controllable. Like way more controllable than I was kind of expecting it to be, because like it is a reflector, for Christ's sake. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, there you go. You can definitely see it there now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's the kind of the 4 main ones that they do, and I think regardless of what size you get, I think you get all 4 on. You get those 4 colors on all of them. Yeah. All mine now have nice fingerprints in all the corners, but yeah. Do you have a link to buy them? I hope they're paying you to. Sorry, my phone was just they're paying you for supporting their product, but yeah, I need them right now. So let's come back and have a look here. Let me just get that out of the way. Let's come back. So they're not cheap, right? They're not cheap. So Essential Photo sent me these ones, right? 25 by 25, and this is the kit that they sent me. Right, so you can take a look here. Now, this Essential Photo is UK based. This is Essential Photo is the key or the only distributor now in the UK for all of the Godox stuff. So everything comes through them. So yeah,